The real voyage of self-discovery lies not in seeing new landscapes, but in having fresh set of eyes. So said Marcel Proust. At the peak of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is self-actualization, discovery of one's self. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, ladies and gentlemen, how do you discover what you like and make it work for you? Stick around, join me in this journey, and let's find out just exactly how to do this. I first met her in my mom's kitchen at around 8 years old. We gazed deeply into each other's eyes, and I suddenly knew it. This was it. She was the one, ladies and gentlemen. I had finally discovered sound. To many of us, the instrument that I hold on my hand was a source of pain or punishment, but it had another role for me. This was how I discovered sound. Banging on sufurias, the gas cooker, and anything in my sight. The few of us who have met my mother, yes, my mother, through my speeches, know that she held her hands on her waist and wore a grin that would have scared away the Vietnamese during the Cold War. What's all the racket? Mommy, I'm trying to make sound. Gokorigagu maniewe. I will hit and disassemble you, so said my mother. Despite the threats and harsh conditions, I chose to grab or hold onto her. Fast forward to 2008, during my second year in campus, I was introduced to the almighty crossfader and met the world of beats per minute. I had met John Joroge a year before that, commonly known by his household name, DJ Johnny Celeb, who recently got married. Celeb had one rule and one rule only. If it costs you nothing, then it's probably not worth it. I yearned to learn this skill that made all the girls scream your name. But to do this, I had to show him the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever been to Kenyatta University, then you know that the distance between the gates and Nyayo hostels is probably what the quote, "the journey of 1,000 miles" refers to. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, at any DJ Academy school, you are taught that you must have, one, a good musical ear, and two, that the crossfader, the almighty crossfader, is the most important tool that you will ever see. Countless hours into it, a few shillings less, and the journey of 1,000 miles later, DJ Tito was born. I had learned and mastered the art. DJ Tito was a renowned name in my neighborhood. My very first gig was at a church in Kiambu. A friend had asked me to help out with sound. And after a job well done, he pulls me aside and goes something like, "Bro, I'm sorry we can't do a lot, but here is 4,000 shillings just to say thank you." 4,000 shillings. I was still in school, living off my parents, and no one to spend the money on. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, the stars had aligned. I was living large. My dream, my love, my passion was taking care of me. Finally, fellow Toastmasters and guests, Through the years, I have learned to always and constantly exercise my passion. I have learned to be loyal and faithful to her. One of the ways which I'll recommend to anyone is the famous Safaricom Jazz Festival. Happens 3 times in a year with a rich lineup of amazing musicians from all over the world. Who here has watched the movie August Rush? Anyone? How was it? It was an amazing movie, right? In this movie, we find this musical genius who teaches us of an unconventional way of playing the guitar by hitting the chords rather than plucking them. I always thought this was a camera trick, fallacy, lies, until I met the great Marcus Miller live in concert. Walks up to the stage, picks up his bass guitar and goes something like, "Drrr." I like starting with the bass because any good song starts with the bass, and proceeds to give a state-of-the-art performance with the unconventional method we find in August Rush. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I conclude on this. The good book urges us, implores us, and requires of us to love wisdom, to grab hold of her, and that she will protect us in the day of trouble. How do you find out what you love and make it work for you? Number 1, discover what comes easily and naturally, even if it is banging sufurias. Number 2, get good at it. Put in the work, the journey of 1,000 miles. Thirdly and finally, always stay loyal and faithful to your passion, and she will protect you in the day of trouble. Mr. Contest Chair.